welcome to the SMA YouTube channel. Here we're doing a series of interviews where we interview alums of the program that are currently working in the sports industry. Today we're interviewing Stephanie Mavunga, class of 2018. My name's Hannah. I'm a current student in the sports management program. I'll be graduating in August of 2020.
My name is Emma. I'm also on the sports management program, and I'm also part of the track and field team here at OSU.
Awesome. So Stephanie, I just want to ask you, could you give you a brief introduction of yourself and a description of yourself and your athletic journey and how did you end up where you are today?
Okay, so as you said, my name is Stephanie Mavunga. I'm fun-loving. I'm 25. I just graduated from OSU back in 2018, as you said. And so I was actually a basketball player at OSU, and now I play in the WNBA for the Indiana Fever, and then I play overseas as well. So I'm going into my third WNBA season, starting next month, and then I'll be going overseas after that, back to Russia in a city called Kursk. And I'll kind of tell you a little bit about like my journey growing up. And so I moved. Was gonna kind of like slide into the next question, but I moved.
Go for it.
Zimbabwe when I was 3 years old, and I moved with my family to England, and then I moved to from England to the U.S. and I lived in Indiana all of my life after that. And so I kind of started playing basketball when I was in maybe late middle school, 7th, 8th grade. I was a little bit late, and after that, I kind of I kind of stuck to it. I think I took a year off just because I didn't really think like it was really my thing. I wasn't very good when I started out, but ever since then, I've just been rolling and I've been trying to get better and better. And so I've always been one of those people that kind of want to be the best at what I've done. And so I continue to push myself in that right. And so I went from Brownsburg High School here and played here in Indiana. And then I went to the University of North Carolina for my first 2 years. And then I transferred to OSU starting my junior year. And then I graduated with a bachelor's in sociology, and then I got into the master's program, and then I graduated in a year.
Oh, that's cool. So you done the whole program in a year as opposed to 2 years?
Right. So I did the whole thing in a year, my 5th year of college, and then on top of that, well, I had a little bit of the summer, so I graduated in the summer. So I did all my courses, and then all of a sudden I did like the internship a little bit at the end, and then just one last class.
Okay, so how do you feel like you going from Zimbabwe to England to Indiana and then the colleges you were at, how do you think that shaped the way you view sport and play sport?
So what I really liked about my journey is I've gotten to see a lot of different places. So not only different states, but different countries, and seeing how sports can positively impact others. And so for me, I've always liked being a student athlete. I've always taken the student part seriously, and I know that it comes before, but I always liked sports because I think it was a way to bring people together.
Definitely.
And so going in Zimbabwe, basketball isn't a very popular sport. It's more so soccer or cricket or netball or something like that. And so kind of, getting away from the sports that, may have been the main sports that were in my country was a little bit different. So I wasn't necessarily an athlete, so to say, when I first moved. And so it was just something that, kind of helped me as I was growing up, because I was just kind of to myself. There was nothing I really did for fun, so to say. So I kind of got basketball. The very first time I did it non-competitively was in 2nd grade. I went to a Christian school here in Indianapolis, and I just kind of played just because my friends were playing, honestly, and I had no idea what was going on. And so I never played again until I played in middle school. And so it's been nice. And I think that sports have definitely impacted me, not only from my younger years, but even to this day. I've made so many different relationships, friendships, and just met so many great people along the way, and people that can help me out and people that I can help out. And so any way to impact others, and especially young kids growing up and inspiring to be something.
Oh, awesome.
Hey, I feel like sports just automatically like does that, has some like a switch. It's like you make these great friends and great connections. Yeah, we love that. So going into college, you're a very successful player, ranked 4th in the nation, and also part of the U.S. national team. What was the recruiting process for you like? And can you tell us a little bit about your time at UNC and OSU?
yes. Whew, seems so long ago. So 2013. So I was recruited ever since I think my freshman year. I started getting my very first offer. So my first offer was from Purdue, and no, well, my first one was from IU, and then literally that same day was from Purdue. And I was just so excited to even, get a full ride scholarship. I almost committed that day. And then I really didn't understand. And so my dad was saying, no, you don't commit that fast. You need to really understand what's going on. And so I was really excited, blessed to be recruited at such a young age and by such distinguished programs and universities. And so it was really nice. I met so many different players on the U.S. national team and players that I still talk to this day. I was actually looking at my Facebook memories from 9 years ago, and literally that was when I was on the first team I played for. And so I played 16U USA basketball, and I even met some of the players that I'm still really good friends with to this day. Some of us, we do different things now, but it's so nice to know, like, wow, you see everybody as a little kid, and then all of a sudden we grow, and then it's nice to see where everyone goes from there, what college they end up going to, what they end up doing professionally, and how they live just after that. And so it's been really nice, and I've met some of my great friends through this game. And so coming out, I committed, I think, sometime during the end of my junior year. And so I committed to Carolina. I took a visit out there with my parents, and I loved it. It's the state of North Carolina. It's beautiful, great weather, and they were a very touted, highly touted basketball team. Of course, Michael Jordan went there. Everything about it just seemed just the perfect fit for me. I know it was a really good academic institution. And so I committed there. I went there for 2 years, and I loved it. I don't really have anything bad to say about the program. I really loved it, but I just felt like I think I should have just gone in a different direction after those 2 years. I did well there, academically and athletically. And then I decided to transfer. And when I decided to transfer, Ohio State was close to home. It was a really good academic institution. They had a great basketball team, and I just felt like, that was the perfect place for me. And so I continued to play, and then I went on a visit, talked to my family, talked to my parents, talked to everyone, and then I just kind of picked Ohio State. So I loved it at OSU. It was a little bit, shaky at first because it was such a big university. I came from Carolina. Yeah. I was very known. I knew everyone, and it was just great. And then all of a sudden I came to OSU, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like I have to drive around campus. Like I could take a moped around UNC and be all around campus. I'm like, oh my goodness, like I'm taking all kinds of things. And so it was very different. And even the living arrangements, everything was different. Like I ended up living in Hilliard, whereas at Carolina, I lived right on campus. And so everything was just so different. But I really liked it because it helped me grow, and it helped me grow quicker. And just kind of be more self-sufficient and be on my own and just kind of be an adult, so to say. I really loved it at OSU. Now I still play for the Fever with one of my OSU teammates, Kelsey. And so it's really neat how things just come full circle. I have nothing but great things to say about OSU. I always brag about it, saying like, oh, the Ohio State University, I'm a proud
period.
Exactly. So, oh my gosh, like I love OSU. Literally, I worked out in OSU this morning.
Oh, cool. So you kind of touched upon the next question, which was, so you mentioned earlier that you only done the course in a year, the master's program, and you achieved so much, including the all conference honors for Big Ten. So how did you balance sport with your academic journey?
Okay, so as I said before, I always took the student athlete part very serious. Student part and first, and then the athlete second. And so I knew, like, academics were very important because you never know when the basketball is going to stop bouncing.
Exactly.
And I could do so much with a degree, especially from such a distinguished institution. And I really wanted to do well. I wanted to push myself. I like to push myself in all facets. And so not just on the basketball court, but I'm also competitive in other regards and in my life. And so, I just always wanted to do well. And I remember, this is actually funny. I remember when I graduated, when I got my bachelor's. So I had ended up getting, I graduated cum laude, and I barely missed like magna. And it really bothered me. I think it was like by literally like 0.01 or 0.1 or something like that. And it was really bothering me. And so I told myself, like, I'm gonna graduate summa cum laude. Clearly we can't do that, but like I was like, I want a 4.0, like 3.9 or higher in my master's. I'm gonna do it the whole way through. Like, I'm gonna be so focused. And I know a lot of people said, like, I don't recommend, you doing the program and all in a year, especially if you're gonna be playing basketball and then you're gonna try to get the PBA. And I was like, well, I know what I want to do. I know what I have planned.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna get it done nonetheless. Of course, like they were super hard, nice, crazy weekends, crazy game days that were, maybe the same days as multiple exams, and just kind of trying to figure it out and, put the internship in there as well. And classes were long, but I had my mindset, I had a goal.
That's
and
good.
I was achieve it. And so I actually ended up coming out the program with a 4.0, perfect 4.0. And I literally cried, guys. Like when I finally got my grades, I was like, oh my gosh. And so it was really all worth it in the end. I definitely had a good support system. My coach was very, very understanding. And that's what I really respect about OSU. He always, told me, okay, it's academics first. And one of my classes overlapped with practice, but on one of the days, and he would still work with me. And that's what I really loved about OSU. They really took that athletic part, second after the academics. And so the academics, they really took seriously. And so that was very respectable for me.
Yeah, that's super important. Like you said, like, you don't know when the basketball is going to stop dribbling, just because, things happen, and we hope nothing, of course, like injuries or anything happens, but you have to be realistic, and just preparing yourself after sport is very, 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 very important. So upon graduation, you're the 14th pick in the 2018 WNBA draft, and you went to play for the Indiana Fever. So can you kind of tell us about the difference between playing professional and playing in college?
Okay, so professional, you're on your own, whereas in college, you're really monitored. And so I think that that's the quickest things that rookies learn right out the gate. You're constantly going to class, you have a schedule, you have to be on the bus at this time, you have to be in the gym at this time, study hall, this, that, and the third. And then all of a sudden you go to pros and you're like, okay, what time is pregame? What time are you having the meal? What time are we going to get on the bus? And the coach is like, no, you do all that on your own. The only thing, okay, we provide a bus for you to get, to the airport, but everything is on your own. And so you quickly learn and you quickly adult. So if you didn't really kind of pick up on that in college, it kind of is difficult for some. You're constantly asking questions and you're trying to just figure it out along the way. So it's a quick learning process. And so I think that that's the biggest thing. Just being on your own. Of course, you have guidance in a sense, but at the end of the day, no one can really tell you, oh, okay, it's time to go and work out. It's time to practice. It's time to put in extra work. Time to eat pregame meal at this time. You're cooking for yourself, or you're going to buy something. You're holding yourself accountable. Maybe if you didn't play much, you still have to go and get the cardio in. Whereas if you didn't play in college, maybe 20 minutes after the game, everyone's running to try to make up for that. And so just trying to be a professional and knowing that, this is your job now. Of course, it's still basketball, but you need to take it a little bit even more serious than you may have before, because regardless, you kind of had your scholarship, but you can lose your job any second. So I think
and it's good.
This transition.
Sorry, and it's good that you I was just going to say, it's good that you pointed out the difference between like it being a job. So you have to like take it serious, maybe because you're not working at an office or something and it's a school, you still have to perform to the best you can and cover all bases really, which is good that you.
Yes, I definitely agree, because sometimes people get so lost in the sauce, so to say, and they say, oh, you're just playing basketball. Yes, but at the same time, it's a job.
It's a business.
Of
yeah,
course,
exactly.
Business, you can, the same way someone can get fired from a 9 to 5, I can get fired from a game.
Yeah. So talking about like after your first season with the Fever, you went overseas to play in Russia. So Russia, in my opinion, is has a completely different kind of culture and just way of living, even though they're amazing at sports. So how did you find that transition going from America to Russia?
It was tough, very tough to say. I almost thought I wasn't gonna make it. So before Christmas break, I was really struggling. I just wanted to go home. I'm like, oh my goodness, like there was just really nothing to do overseas. I didn't really understand the language. I didn't really have any friends, and so it was kind of tough. You go to practice, you have 2-a-days, so you're exhausted by the time that you get home. Every single day is kind of just repetition. You wake up, you turn off your alarm, you go to practice, you come back, you eat, you go to practice, you come back, you eat, you go to sleep, and you do it all over again every single day for 8 months. And so you kind of just have to figure out, like, what do I want to do with my extra time? Do I actually want to go to sleep every single time at 8 o'clock because I'm exhausted from practice? Or like, do I want to get good at something else? Do I want to reach out to people, maybe I haven't talked to in a while? Do I want to find something else that I can do after basketball? Like, what is it that I'm going to do? And so it was really different. And I think the biggest part was just the language barrier and how different just Russians are than Americans. They were so fascinated by Americans, not only the fact that I was an American, but we had 3 men on the men's team, and then me and my teammate, and we were all African American. And so they had never really seen Black people before where I was. And so every single time we were in the grocery store, anything that we would do that they would also do, it would just be seen as bizarre. Like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I would get stares, I get pictures at the grocery store. I'm picking up pasta. You're picking up pasta. It's so different because I'm Black. And so it just took some getting used to. Even when my mom came out and visited, it was just so crazy. We're literally walking through the mall and she's like, why is that man taking a picture of me? I'm like, Mom, as if you look around, you haven't seen any more Black people here. So you have to understand, like, sometimes it wasn't so much as to disrespect us, but it was just they were so shocked,
amazed,
so amazed, and wow, like, and so those were the biggest things. But they were so loyal and so true at the games. They really meant well, and they were just so excited. And so I think that was the biggest transition. But after December, when I came back after Christmas break, I had it basically figured out. I ended up meeting a lot of friends. I met Jamaican friends, and then players from other teams that were in my city. And that was really neat. So we all kind of spoke English, and so we found something to bond over.
Oh, that's cool. Oh.
Yeah, I can imagine, like, I guess just I've never been to Russia, but I mean, I don't know, I'd be kind of speechless and hard to adjust, but I'm glad they're loyal to you, and we're always pumped to come to the games. So you kind of mentioned it being, I guess, like one of the only Black basketball players on your team in Russia, but I feel like that's the majority of the makeup on the Indiana Fever. So I was just curious to how your team has been supportive and encouraging with the recent events surrounding racial injustice in the U.S.
So the WNBA as a whole, they've been really supportive, and they actually announced yesterday, we will have a WNBA season this year. It's going to be much different from, what it's looked like in the past. We're going to be at IMG Academy. We will not be open to fans, but something that they're really trying to push is everything that's going on right now, justice, and the overwhelming theme is social justice. And so that's what we're looking for. We want equality, and the makeup of the WNBA is 80% Black women. And so, we're some of the most frowned upon women in just the world on a day-to-day basis. And so for our league to be made up of 80% of Black women, then we really take it seriously, and it's important for. And so Atlanta came out today as being the first team that would say that, they'll use Juneteenth as a paid holiday. And so everyone was really excited about that, to hear the news. And so you can see as a whole, the league is really trying to, support us and back us and be behind us. A lot of girls around the league, a lot of women around the league have been at protests, have been at peaceful protests, or just doing their part in any way. You see a lot of different things via social media and just how teams are supporting Black Lives Matter and anything that the players kind of want to push for equality. And so specifically with the Indiana Fever, just here on Sunday, we just had a a protest, downtown. And so that was hosted by one of the city's finest, and his name's Amp Harris. And then we had a Black woman in charge, and that was with the Indiana Fever, the Pacers, and then the Colts. And so our head coach is there, and our head coach is a white woman. And just to see her there, the same way as we were there, and just know that she wants equality, that she supports us and cares for us, and she does not see us because of the color of our skin, but rather the people that we are. And so things like that, Black, white, Latino, Hispanic, anything, and we all united. And I really loved that because it was peaceful, it was organized. We were all there on the same agenda. We all wanted equality. We were all fighting for justice, And so just to have the team behind us, we had all of our media personnel, everyone out there, with signs and things, saying that, we support you, we back you. We're not, afraid to say that. And our Indiana Fever social media hasn't been afraid to say that either. And so if you look at their stuff, they've been posting different things and showing us, just how important it is. We even had a Zoom call a couple of days after the George Floyd killing, and we discussed, and our coach was just telling us, she was just really, wanting to see how our mental was. And because she sees what's going on, and it's been going on, and she wanted us to know that she will use her privilege in any way that she can. And she wanted us to know that she supports us in any way. And that's how the team and everyone else around has been, the president, the GM on down. And so that's what I really love about Indiana Fever. And that's what I really love about the WNBA, how they have that's on their agenda, the top of their agenda.
That's great.
And I think it's really good that even though people like the non-Black population may not be able to experience it, but they're supporting it and they're here to listen, or they're here to speak up. So the fact that you said unity, that's been my word since all of this has happened, just coming together and just being one as humanity. So it's nice that within the sports industry, at a professional level, that they're also taking those steps and not shying away from it, which is cool. So on the flip side, what's been your most memorable favorite experience or career highlight as a basketball player?
So I always stumble on this question because I can't really put my finger on just one moment. I guess I'll do a collegiate one, a professional one, and then I'll do a high school one. Okay. So in high school, that moment, I'd say two different ones. So I won on a team aspect. I won speaking of USA basketball, I won the gold medal with 16U USA basketball in Mexico with my teammates.
Wow.
So I was so excited. Oh my goodness, I got a gold. No one could tell me I wasn't in the Olympics. So I loved that. That was a really big highlight of my life. And then my senior year of high school, the biggest honor in Indiana for basketball players is to get Indiana Miss Basketball. And I won that by the second closest race in Indiana history. And it was such a close race. And so that was really, really big for me. So those are my two biggest high school moments. My biggest collegiate moment, I would say, was winning the Big Ten in my senior year. Here, actually, it was at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, where we play for the Fever. And so that was insane. And how everything came full
just circle. Comes together. Yeah.
It was so nice. And then pro, to be honest, literally getting drafted and to be able to do what I want, and getting drafted to the home team. I'm literally 25 minutes drive from home. And so that day, getting my name called, it was truly a dream and a blessing come true.
Yeah.
I'm
so
sure you're
exciting.
Love that. You're so close. Unfortunately, with the season coming up, there's no fans, but just your past seasons and things like that, they can see you and just drive 20 minutes to come see you play basketball. I bet they're super proud of you. So that's awesome. So what transferable skills have you learned from being a student athlete and through the sports management program do you feel are most important to hone in on to be successful in the sports industry?
So for me, I think teamwork. In all aspects. Communication, you learn those very early. So just being a part of a team as a whole. So whether that was in the sports management program, whether that was on the team, or whether that's in life. So no matter what, you'll always need to be able to communicate with others and use your teamwork skills. And also, I think time management, people, kind of often overlook that one, but time management is very important. Like I was saying, I was trying to finish the program in a year, and I was trying to juggle being a Division I athlete at the same time. I had away trips. I wanted to make, a WNBA roster, and I was trying to do 3-hour classes in one day and trying to figure out everything and how it fit. And so, time management, I think, is very important. Even in the quote unquote real world, so to say, because, you start working, you start adulting, and you're trying to figure out how to do everything and how to navigate through life, and trying to see, okay, when will I do this? What time will I be doing that? And so how to be organized. And so that's something that we kind of learn at a young age in sports, because, we have a schedule and everything is kind of planned for us. But then we figure out on our own, okay, this is how I can use this time for this. When we figure out how to work with people that, may not have the same personality as us, not all of our teammates are the same as us, and same in the professional world. Not all of our teammates or all of our coworkers are the same. And so we learn to work with people that, may be different from you, or may not have the same, same similarities or same interests and things as you. And so I would say team management, communication, and time management. Time management and teamwork. Sorry, I said team management.
We understood what you were saying.
Yes.
But I feel like across all sports, like you said, even for track and field, it's definitely being able to prioritize and work with the schedule you have. But yeah, definitely agree with you. So in terms of who's influenced you the most during your career, who would you say and why? Okay. It could be more than one.
Okay. I'll do two. Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll do my older brother, and then I'll do my mom. So with my mom, she moved from Zim at a young age. Well, with us, well, younger, but of course she was grown with us, three of us. I have a little brother, a bigger brother, and there's me. And so she moved over here, and she had already been very, very well read back in Zim. But of course, her I guess her occupation didn't necessarily translate when she came here. But like me, and I think that's where I get it from, just wanting to be the best at everything that you do, and wanting, always push yourself and, just continue to progress in life. She wanted to get another degree. And so my mother has 3 degrees. And so she has me there for now. And so just kind of seeing, like how you can go from Zimbabwe to England. So she went to school in England, she went to school in Zimbabwe, and she went to school in the States. And so she had 3 degrees from the 3 different countries, and seeing her, just kind of work tirelessly, and time management, she has it down, and work tirelessly over the years, doing things that maybe she wouldn't have wanted to do, or work in the places that she wouldn't have wanted to work when she first came here, just to make a better life for me and my brothers and I, her and my father together. Is just very respectable, and I'll always forever love and cherish them for that. And so she's definitely pushed me, even though, she didn't play basketball growing up. She didn't have to, because I saw her work ethic in other ways. So seeing, how she continues to work and how she continues to make everything happen, I still never understand. To this day, looking back, and I'm like, how did you do this if you had to do this, that, and the third? And, she was in school, but she still, still never missed a beat. She's been at every single basketball game at my high school. She's coming to like all the games in Columbus. Basically, she would drive, she'd leave work, and I'm like, wow, you're leaving work at 7 o'clock in the morning. She works nights, and she'll drive all the way to Columbus straight, and then go to the game later on that night, then drive back the next day. And so just, seeing the sacrifices that she's made, I think that just to see somebody work so hard and be so passionate about something, like seeing me be successful, that kind of put. And then for my older brother, because he's the one that I kind of saw playing basketball, and I kind of wanted to mold myself after when I was younger. I saw him growing up, and I saw how, basketball kept him out of trouble. Basketball helped him in so many ways. It saw that he could get a Fulbright scholarship. He ended up going to Miami of Ohio. And I saw just like, what basketball could do for him and where it could take him. And I saw something that he could be passionate about and, do so many things, and how he could use his platform to just continue to be of good use and show people, like, oh, okay, this is what I believe in, and nice to meet you, travel the world, whatever it is, and just make connections. And so I saw what basketball could do and how we could use a sport and still enjoy it. And so just seeing him just grow over the years and seeing the player that he's become through all the work is definitely kind of why I started playing and why I continue to play. And now it's a family thing. So all three of us, we play. I always say me and mine versus you and yours. So yeah, we all three play, and it's so nice to see everyone at their different level and seeing how we compete and seeing how we get better and better. And we're so competitive. It's hilarious because we were literally having a conversation just yesterday. My little brother was like, well, Stephanie can do this, but I can beat her at this. And my brother's like, well, I can beat you at this. And so it's just really nice, but it's something that brings us all together. And so we've always said, we're bonded by blood and basketball. And so that's what I like, and how my brothers have continued to help me progress in my sport too, just simply off of our bond.
Aww.
I bet you guys have some intense competitions, and whoever wins has to doesn't have to do the dishes or something like that.
Yeah, we always figure out something.
That's so having graduated, completed the master's program, kind of looking back at it, what advice do you have to incoming grad students?
Dr. Turner is great, first and foremost. I definitely love the program. If I were to go back and get a master's, I would definitely go back and I would do that all over again. I don't think I made any mistake in that. I think that you should just be focused out the gate. Don't push yourself too much. So if you can't do all of the coursework in a year, no problem. They recommend 2 years anyway. And so just take your time with it, but make sure that you're open. There are different walks of life and different ages all through the program. You could go to the program with someone that is your parents' age, or you can go with another student athlete or people that don't even watch sports, but they're involved in sports in a different sense. And it's just nice to like kind of just sit back from like kind of what you're used to in like the big lecture halls at OSU, and then just kind of like honing in on like a little classroom when you could have 8-9 students, or you could have 15 students, and how you can get real personal with these people in such a short time because you all have an interest, something that you're trying to master together, and something that you guys all are on common ground with and can see eye to eye with. And so I say just go in with an open mind, and just be willing to learn, be willing to learn from others, because yes, we're all in a sport management program, but we may not have all played sports, or we may not have all played the same sport, or we all have different interests in other sports. And so it was nice learning about different sports from other people, or different things about sports. So some people want to be, an athlete. Some people want to be an athletic director. Some people want to be a GM. Everyone wants to do something different. And so kind of, bringing all that together, and how we can all use that same degree and master the same thing to do such different things within the sports world.
Yeah. So just to add on from that question, it kind of just popped up in my head. So going from the undergraduate degree structure to the master's program degree structure, oh my gosh, tongue twister. How did you find the transfer? Was it easy for you? Do you think that students, especially student athletes, do you think they'll be able to transfer well?
Yes, I think it's all a mental thing. So you just have to be locked in. And so that's kind of what I did. I had an open mind. I went in knowing what it is that I wanted to do. I had goals, I had aspirations. And so I told myself, I'm saying, I'm trying to do this in a year, or even if you want to do it in 2 years, you're telling yourself you're doing it for 2 years. So all you have to do is lock in for that time. It's not like it has any longer than that. So you have to go in with the mindset, a positive one. And so I think that it's all about your mindset. If you go in thinking like, oh my goodness, I can't do 3-hour classes, then it's going to be difficult. You have to know you're gonna have to, give up different things at certain times, so you can do these master programs, so that you can focus on your homework, so you can, be with your classmates when it's time to do group projects, or you have your internship. And so I think it's all a mentality. You have to kind of just lock in and tell yourself, like, you know, I have to grind this out for a year or for 2 years or for however long you want to be in the program, and know that, you know, at the end of the day, what am I here for? You have to remember why you're there. And if you can't really think of that, or you think that it's too much, whatever is going on in the master's program, then is it truly something you want to master?
Good one. I like that. No.
Awesome. So that's it for the I guess informational questions. So we have a few fun questions for you. So you heard you love to cook. So what's your favorite dish to make? Do you make stuff for the team? Do you make stuff for your family? Yeah, what's your favorite thing to cook?
So you're right. I love, love, love to cook. That's my biggest hobby. I might do something with that after the ball starts dribbling. I love to make. To be honest, I always get this question, and I literally always say the same thing. I don't have necessarily a favorite. I have favorites, but like I just love to cook. Like in general, it doesn't matter what it is. It could be the most simple thing, the most complex thing, whatever it is. I just love to cook. But I will say what other people's favorites are of mine. So everyone loves the salmon. So my top things are salmon that people love. They love my fresh guacamole, and they love the banana pudding. Ooh. So those three, yes. So like a dessert, appetizer, and then like a meal. So those are kind of like what people love. Oh, and then they love my sauces. So like I make sauces from scratch, especially like my Alfredo. And so I think that that's what people like the most. And I enjoy making those. I love making salmon. I'm a really, really big fan. So,
wow,
cool.
I got you. Actually, for the master's program, on the last day, they had me make salted caramel brownies. So I made those. Yeah, I made those for the last day of the master's program.
I have a question though. So do you still eat like food from like Zimbabwe? Do you like your parents still cook it, or you cook it?
You know, my mom actually just made some before this call, but you know what I try to do, so I try to eat a little cleaner, because like we said, it's a job now, right?
Yeah.
So I try to eat a little bit cleaner, and so food from Zim, I mean, not everyone there is like, oh, you know, I'm trying to, you know, keep off the hips, you know. We eat, and we eat good, and we
good.
And so I try not to eat a lot of Zimbabwean food often, simply because like our staple meal is real thick and is real heavy, and it's not the healthiest. Oh, I love it. It's so good, but I try to stay away from it. But yeah, here and there, yes, but I don't usually cook Zimbabwean food or Zimbabwean dishes. No.
Okay.
Yeah, so, but my mom does. My mom and my dad do all the time.
Oh, cool. So the last question of this interview is, how can you sum up Ohio State in only 3 words?
The best memories.
Oh, I like what you've done with that. The best memories.
Yeah,
wow.
Best memories. And that kind of just speaks for itself, whether it was, you know, in the 2 programs that I was in, whether it was on the court, whatever it was, and just like looking back, you know, I would do it all over again. I probably just would start there even. And so, but everything happens for a reason. I end up there, and I was really excited there, and I'm a proud alum.
Wow.
Love advice. But yeah, thank you so much, Stephanie, and thank you everyone for watching this interview on our YouTube channel. So we'll be posting more, and hope everyone tunes in to watch those as well. So yeah, thank you again, Stephanie. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.